Okay, let's start talking about furniture because as you can see, I've been working on some. Now, I think that I had shown you this little piece that I've been working on. And there are parts of it that I like and parts of it I don't like for the finished piece. And one of the things I don't like is this tilts out a little bit too far. And I don't like all the white showing up on the edges. And then if you flip it, it's like it's all white on the inside, and I don't like that. So I had gone forward and worked on some other pieces. Oh yeah, and I made this is just a little piece of tin foil over a piece of carton board. I saved all the scraps of the heavyweight paper, and that's what I'm using too. You can see in here, I've added a little bit more in here to stiffen it. You can really see that right there. And I went ahead and I was testing out some ideas for this chair. I love this is the whole piece that got me looking at all of this. And if we flip it over, I've cut everything out, and you can see that I've added little pieces of carton board, of the heavyweight paper. I added 2 to this one. And I've done some things a little differently. You can see I've colored in these portions on the back for the legs, and I've colored in these portions, and I've even colored in the tabs, because when the chair goes together, and I haven't attended to these tabs in the back, but now you can see, you don't see them as much. Now, what I've discovered, I also did this little nightstand. You can see it's open, and I colored in the tab here. And when it all goes together, it's a little less obvious that this is paper. Now, the pens I'm using for this, you guys helped me buy these pens too. These are a different kind of Artistro pens. These are the ones, I think I got these like for $12.99 instead of $24 or $30, something like that. They have a dot tip and a fine tip. And the ink is a little different. The painterly ink is a little different. I like that it has a dual tip on these. But put this, get these out of the way because I pulled out some others here. And you can see where sometimes things are popping through. Use the fine tip here. It's a thicker ink, but it does a really, really nice job of covering these and covering quickly. So you can see the difference between, I've done 2 coats here. I won't do 2 coats here. Just to make sure that we aren't going to, kind of be sucked out of the idea that these are pieces of furniture and not pieces of paper, if that makes sense. Because I did some of these last night, and I knew they were going to need little second coats. So anything that's going to be seen, I'm going to cover with a little bit more. Now, the other thing I noticed is because this paper is thicker, the edges will show up bright white. So I'm going through this one I've already done in green. I'm going through, in any place where I think it might be seen, I'm going to hit it with a little, and I did it here too. I did these in yellow, or I should do these in yellows. I've done these in the blue. The blue shows up really nicely. As opposed to, you can really see, I mean, look at the differences. This looks much more finished. Now, the problem is not all of, because these just work, chef's kiss. These work so well. These are Artistros. And I'm really, really happy with them. However, there's some pieces, like this one here, that I did with the other Artistros, which are far more paint-like. So, pardon me, I need to shake those up. You can see in the folding process how some of this has gotten dinged up, and you can kind of see streaks and things on here. I'm going to test this here. And I'm just going to have to carefully, and I've got to admit, this certainly does make it a lot easier than if I were using liquid paint, like dip, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I can go in here and very carefully add more. And the reason I can do that is because I've added some structural supports underneath. In this one, you really can't see it, but I've added in a little piece of carton board. And I think for these, oops, as I squeeze that a little bit too much, I'm going to come in and take some lengths of toothpick. Like, let me see, let me grab, where's my tool over here? Cut that off and glue these in, and then also paint those just to give it a little bit more structure so the legs won't be crushed. And you can see here that these dotted lines are still, so I can come in here and just add a little bit, just zhuzh them a little bit, and then I can hit the bottoms of them like so. And I know this looks like a lot of time to do this, but those of you who have been my patrons for a while know I'd rather have it done correctly. So for the bed, I was also thinking about, like, for something as small as this, I don't need to add much more structural support than what's already in here. I might add toothpicks to this one. But for the bed, where there may be the chance of things being not quite as great, I mean, I have some pieces that need to be glued on so the bed can be seen from all sides. Where's the other little piece? Here's the other little piece. And then this goes up and gets glued right there. So there's a little bottom to the bed, which I think is very sweet. I think that I may add some very light cardboard bracing in here. Maybe something just going straight across. But I haven't gotten to that point yet. So that's kind of where we are right now. Now with this piece, because I'm going to have to kind of retrofit it, what I did was I just went in and cut a piece that will fit in here so we don't have to look at this underside too much. I'm gonna have to glue it into place, but now all I'll need to do is add some color to this bottom side. And I'm fortunate that this pen matches or is close enough to this blue that I can do this here. And then what I plan on doing is going around the edges with color, the purple color or the blue color, similar to what I just showed you in this one. So that's kind of how we are, where I am right now. I've also decided, like for this piece right here, I decided I wanted to add a back to it. So I'll be putting this onto the back. I need to hit the backs of some things. I think I'm going to make these yellow. I'll just color them in yellow, these little tabs, so everything will kind of match a little bit. And then that little chair will be ready to go. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on today. My hinges, I'm a little upset, just a tiny bit. I'm not like throwing things and having a tantrum or anything. I'm a little miffed that they didn't come. I had to order them from Amazon, and they handed them off to the post office, and the post office just has marked them on Friday as delivered, and they weren't delivered. So, and then they didn't come on Saturday. So I might be getting them tomorrow. So I'm continuing to work on the doors. But for right now, I'm going to put some more varnish on the insides of the doors, which I need to show you. And then I can sit down and work on some more furniture and get those pieces finished, if that makes any sense. And I have other things I need to be working on. Oh gosh, I have to paint paper tomorrow. I have the A-frame needs to be put together, and then I need to the next piece needs to be like with the exception of the heads. I got the heads finished, but I gotta build the bodies. And I have until like the 30th. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to go back to work because I'm kind of losing my mind here a little bit. And I will see you in the next video. Okay, I decided to add a little bit more onto this video. I wanted you to see what the inside of the doors look like. I've gotten, this is the kitchen, the hallway for the downstairs, and the opening for the door. Then this is the living room. This is my bedroom. This is the upstairs hallway. This is the studio. And of course, this is the attic. But you can see, I went with, because there were several of these pieces that I had decided I wanted to use this one in the kitchen, and I wanted to use this one in my bedroom. I wanted to make it as seamless as possible. So because this is all heavyweight paper, it all just kind of fits together like a little puzzle piece. The inside of the door, I have this piece here. You can tell kind of it's a key. This is going to go on the inside of the door. So I'm going to put, the door will be there, and then I'm going to put this key piece on the inside. I did just use a piece of painted paper. I just measured it out, and then just did folds. So this is 3 layers of painted paper newsprint that's just folded on top of each other. I need to do a little decoration on each of these inside trim work pieces, and then add this part to the door. And then I'm gonna consider it done, and I'm gonna say done for now. Actually, why am I doing air quotes? I'm stupid sometimes. It's done for now, except I need to get some, because of the nature of this type of printing, this will chip if it's hit or scratched. So I'm going to put some varnish on this side and let it dry, and then I can add in this piece for the door, which I think will look really nice. And this house, this Katieland house, I am not considering finished by any stretch of the imagination. What's being shown is where the house is right now. There is more that will be added to it over time, and that's just the nature of this particular piece, if that makes any sense. So, thank you, patrons, for sticking around. Ooh, I kind of like how you can see, like, there's letters in here and stuff, because I would like to, like, do some drawing and add more things in here, because that's just me, and that's why it's called Katieland House. So, I'm glad I got the little kitty in here. I so wanted to use this on this, in the here. I will see you in the next video. Thank you, patrons. And hopefully by the next time, I'll have some hinges, and we'll be putting the doors on, which would be super duper nice. So thank you, patrons, and I'll see you in the next video.